Hello? Hello. Ah, there we go. Hey everyone. I'm Professor McCoy, and welcome to our first stream of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone else. Hello, Angel. This is Angel. Say hello to the internet people. I'm not going to talk for her. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let her talk if she wants to. If she wants to yap at you guys, she can. It's a good start. It's a good start to a game with just gorgeous music, a cat. Alright. So anyway. Hon hon hon, les fusils. Oui oui baguette. By the way, this I was yapping in Discord about whether I should have because I don't have a cigarette. I'm not a cigarette smoker. I never have been. Probably won't be. But I have something relatively close, I guess. I have some cigarillos, some Irish cigarillos, which I don't think this would be a very good way of live streaming the whole time. Despite being at least a little bit French to have cigarette hanging out very well the whole time, but I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that by the way, that's what a cigarillo is. If you were asking. It's like a cigar, but it's the size of a cigarette. Anyway, so Angel and I are going to be up here in this corner for this stream until someone tells me that there's a better place for it. So, you guys in the chat, I'm relying on you all to tell me if this little region up here works for the UI of this game, because I'm not going to be paying too much attention to it. So, hello? Hello? Can I... Why is my controller not registering? Uh-oh. That might be an issue. Maybe I have to click it? Okay, I had to highlight new game with my mouse before I could then change my selection with my controller. Okay, this is odd. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's all good. Anyway. Expedition. Okay, there's 3 difficulties, so let's go with medium. Oh, Angel, no. You're allowed to leave, but I'll be sad. The internet will be sad. As much as wonderful as the music is, I need to turn it down slightly. I need to turn my... No, maybe I don't. My audio is already quite low. Never mind. Wow, it's just booming. All right. Okay. Character customization and cutscenes. Yes. I guess. Wait, why is there an okay? Francois from France. Is there an alternative French? Oh, whatever. Oh, this is why. Overall volume. Alright. Yeah, I think we are gonna stick with English, because I don't speak French, despite this being a vaguely French game. Go. I can change the... Thanks for the reminder there. That's good. Glad I can do that. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I can change the party's appearances in game. It just means making them look silly won't affect the cutscenes. Right. I am perfectly fine making them look silly in cutscenes. If I'm committing to them looking silly out of cutscenes, they're going to look silly in the cutscenes too, and that's just something we're going to have to deal with. Oh. Wow. That's an incredibly post-apocalyptic Paris.
sœur noire, gris fera. Clair obscur, trouble de rature, trouvera effet. Clair obscur, bordé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair obscur, trouble de rature.
If you're gonna give someone flowers, you should probably do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower? Or Sophie?
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve.
Well, their accents certainly aren't French.
Hey, you said it, not me. The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today and readying my usefulness for tomorrow. And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
You still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Just... I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her gamache?
You're asking me? I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
So, I don't want to spoil plot points, but I will say there's something meaningful about the name of the game. It being Expedition 33. And there's something particularly meaningful as well about, first of all, the age 33, which is the age of our protagonist, whose name I don't remember. I'm going to call him French Robert Pattinson for right now. That'll work. He has a name. We'll find out. I'll remember what it is. But anyway, Robert Pattinson over here is 33, which is a very significant detail. In the fullness of his life, one might say, 33 is a very significant... Gustav, thank you. I like Robert Pattinson. And this is not actually Robert Pattinson, and but come on, that looks a lot like him. You can see why I can make the connection. In any case, there is a great significance to the age 33. It's the age of Christ, first of all. It is the fullness of life, traditionally speaking. It's a symbolically important age. Team Robert Pattinson. No, he looks good. It's Unreal Engine 4 Robert Pattinson. There you go. But it also, conveniently enough, happens to be my age. I think that this is an excellent time for me to be playing this game, for this game to come out. It's a fascinating little coincidence, if you believe in such things. Flower for Sophie. Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'll accompany you there. Are you ready to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
Opera.
I set up these grapple shortcuts. Nice, huh? Don't tell your sister, though. I sort of borrowed the hooks from the Expedition Academy.
That's cool.
Wish I had them when I was working as a courier.
Magic.
Come on, Gustav, speed up a bit. Sophie will have already
Great
gamashed
trigger.
by the
Okay,
time
I've
you've
got
arrived.
sprint. We're good.
My head.
Cool.
Can't believe Sophie already turned 33.
I also
so
I
much
think
younger
that
than me.
is Shadow Heart's voice actress. I think, but I'm not completely
She's popular.
sure.
I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
Sounds a lot like her.
I can imagine.
The oddity of it is, though, that she is very clearly much younger than Shadowheart. It's a little, I don't know, it feels odd. Jennifer English. Ah, that's it. That's her name. I forgot.
You look tense.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what you need. A little jewel.
No.
That's an odd offer.
Come on, it'll loosen you up. You can't go and see Sophie all somber and tense. And if you win, I'll give you something you can use with your Lumina converter.
I assume that's the magic system.
All right, you're on.
Yes!
Yeah, let's figure this out. Cool. I have a gun. I have a sword. I have a magic. Attack, aim, use a skill, or use an item. Skills consume AP action points, I assume. Base attack, parry. Okay. Okay, initiative order. Got it. Attacking to gain 1 AP. Attack, single target. You can defend during their attack. With what? Dodge. Or RB is parry. That's odd. Okay. Nice. Alright, I have an action point. Skills. Okay. What skills? Lumiere Assault is, I assume, magic. Lumiere. Okay, no, Lumiere is just where we're from. It's the name for Paris, I suppose. Overcharge. Next skills to charge up is Overcharge Meter. Unleash a devastating blow is Overcharge skill. Use Lumiere Assault to gain charges. Okay, Lumiere Assault. Let's go for it. Okay, press A. The timing. Cool. Oh, parry. Okay, fine. Gains action points. Cool. Dig it. I have overcharge. Overcharge meter is full.
For those who come after.
Okay, very cool. 1 XP.
You won. Now, don't you feel better? I see your smile. All right, now, let's go find Sophie. I saw her near the red and white tree.
Yeah.
Oh, the plaza is lively. Why people like to celebrate the gommage is still a mystery to me, but oh well. The red and white tree. I've always found it beautiful. I don't really understand. You and Sophie broke up so long ago. But clearly you never got over her. Why'd you wait until today to say something? It's a bit late, isn't it? Sophie's down there.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck. I'll be here for you if things don't go as planned.
Thanks.
Rope? That doesn't look like a rope, but okay.
The last few days meant everything.
Can we talk?
Gustav. I love you all.
That's for your, if there's room.
There's always room.
You know,
I
I'm
miss you.
sorry that... I
You
miss
don't need to... Okay,
You go.
you.
You know how I feel? I wish things had been... You know, I often think... Another path, you know, another future.
Still can't finish your sentences, can you?
Yep, that hasn't changed.
I missed that. I never faulted you for wanting to believe. You're fighting to change things. I understand, just... in a different world, right?
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
Stubborn people change the world. And you are the most stubborn person I know. Thank you. Walk me to the harbor?
Yes.
Oh, neat. Why would... Hold on. Why was it highlighting a trash can? Anyway, okay, so... Again, I want to kind of talk about the important things that are going on and what's coming, but I know what's coming and I don't, and it's being foreshadowed really heavily. But it's not been explicit yet, so I don't want to go into it. I will say, though, it relates closely to one of the points that I was just briefly talking about in terms of existentialism.
I'm fine. I've lived 33 good years.
Yeah, there's a number.
Look around. We've had our whole lives to prepare. We're all fine. Mostly.
I'm not fine.
You will be.
Mining whatever odd material this is. Oh. It's really the point that... I'll go into this in more detail later, because like I said, I do kind of want to give a bit of a primer on existentialism. Especially because, I mentioned in Discord, oddly, I have never made a proper video on existentialism. Ooh, so Sonax, this is the best game you've played in years. That's quite something. I'm torn as to whether this or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 ought to be, Game of the Year. Because Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has been absolutely excellent so far. So, I don't know. I'm playing 2 great games on live streams, so. Really, this hands down, that much better. We'll see. We'll see. Kingdom Come is a little bit more my thing in general. My type of game, my type of setting in general. So I might wind up preferring it, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm absolutely open to it. Excuse me. I am a little, you guys forgive me, I'm a little under the weather. I've got a bit of sinusy stuff. So basically my nose is stuffed, so just call it a French accent. That's what's going on.
Ah, the scintillating Sophie. You're as gorgeous as always.
Cyril, you flatterer. Need some help with your writing again?
Beautiful and perceptive, per usual. You see, I'm preparing the headline for tomorrow, and who could write it better than someone who celebrates her special day today?
True. So, what will the article be about?
Actually,
You don't know.
well,
You really are lazy.
Journalists.
help me again, Sophie, please. The boss will kill me.
Sure. Let me think of a headline. Expedition 33 shall be the destined journey.
Headline about the expedition. That's bold. Nobody really cares about them anymore after their constant failures. But that would make a wonderful underdog story. Okay, now I'm inspired. You really are a divine being, Sophie.
Don't forget to credit me.
I would never.
No, I know the spoiler about the Gommage. But that is the only spoiler I know about the game's plot. That was just sort of part of the premise that I had explained to me at some point. So, but beyond that, I know nothing about the rest of the story. So, I know what the Gommage is. I know what that means, and I know that what it has to do with the painter, or whatever she's called. But that's kind of it. So, I will leave it vague there, and until we have a good grasp of what that all means, gotten from diegetically from the game, then I'll sort of dive into what it has to do with existentialism and kind of talk about the philosophy that's going on. That's peanuts compared to what I find out. Ooh, can't wait. That'll be fun.
Thank you for all these times.
It's always been a pleasure, my friend. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, move on. Yeah. What is that? Okay. I assume that is that one character that I've seen in cutscenes.
Hey, you!
Estelle.
You seem like a woman with exquisite taste. I just finished my sculpture of the legendary Esquier.
Okay.
This may be my life's finest work, yet not a single soul seems to care. How could I make it better?
Perhaps you could paint it. Add some color.
Paint it? Brilliant. I knew you were the right person to ask. Thank you for your insight.
You're most welcome.
I shall get to work tomorrow. I see you're wearing flowers. What's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie. As a thank you, I shall chisel your name onto the statue.
Oh, you don't have to.
But I will.
Okay, this is absolutely fascinating because these are all absolute simple, dumb, little mundane little dialogue quests that are so common to RPGs like this. Just so utterly common. But with the foreshadowing of what's coming, God, it lends it so much more significance, so much more meaning.
Oh, Sophie. What a lovely smell.
Thank you, Richard.
I could recognize it from miles away. It's good you're here, Sophie. I have a favor to ask of you.
Anything for my beloved sewing teacher?
We are of the same cohort. Today is my gommage.
Hey, Frenchman, what's that mean? What's that mean? Rejoindre l'expédition? I don't know what rejoindre means. Does that mean join? Or rejoice? Or what does that mean? Someone tell me. Please translate. You're supposed to do your job. You're in the chat to translate.
And my son and I had a fight last night.
Oh.
He said he wants to join the expedition. He wants to waste the last year of his life. I didn't want that for him. I used to think it was a bad choice. Today, I no longer do.
Gommage means scrub. Wait. No. That. The banner. What does the banner mean? That does make sense as to what that means, though. Disturbingly.
I know I made a mistake. I tried to impose my views on him when he is much braver than I will ever be. So I sewed a special uniform for him. That's my last gift. Could you bring it to him?
Of course. I'll bring it to Jules.
He won't join the gommage ceremony, but he will be at the Expedition Festival tonight for sure. Oh, but you...
Don't worry. I'll ask Gustav.
Gustav, are you back together?
For this moment. Maybe.
Isidore Seville asks, are we talking SCOTUS and are formal distinctions real? Okay, here we go. Well, we weren't talking SCOTUS, but we can. I do love SCOTUS. I tend... So first of all, rejoice for the expedition. It's an imperative, like Bon Voyage. Okay, cool. I tend to not put the degree of emphasis on the reality of the formal distinction, at least in God, right? As a lot of Thomists do, because I tend to read Scotus and Aquinas more in continuity than as oppositional. That's kind of controversial. Mostly just because I like Scotus, but I like Aquinas, and I want to try to make them fit. So if you take a milder understanding of the formal distinction, that is to say, okay, the formal distinction, how can I briefly explain this? Is that there are differences between the divine attributes, roughly speaking, and that those differences are formal in that they are the real distinctions. So God's love is different in form, but not in essence or in embodiment or in particularity from God's power, say, or God's justice and God's mercy are formally distinct, according to Scotus, that is. Even if they are not actually distinct, they're not distinct aspects or characteristics of God. How they are portrayed or described is, in fact, distinct, and it is proper to explain how they exist in God as different things, as different aspects. God, it is so hard to say this. It's so hard to describe this, especially just kind of off the top of my head, because I haven't actually read about this in a couple of years. It's so hard to describe this without falling onto one side or the other, either into the absolute collapse of divine simplicity, which Aquinas leans more heavily into, or on the other hand, the real distinctions in God, which violates divine simplicity. Scotus was essentially trying to give us a way of distinguishing between the divine attributes without introducing complexity to God. I think he does a decent job at it. It's just, I think that sometimes, as is often the case with Scotus, I think a lot of people tend to look at the trajectory of late medieval thought that happened after Scotus and to see him as a kind of departure point, rather than being in continuity with the tradition that came before, of the tradition of Thomas Aquinas, of Albertus Magnus, of Anselm, of Augustine, of the whole medieval Christendom. I tend to take Scotus as part of that tradition, and if there is a departure point, it's more in Occam. But even still, I think Occam is a bit of a maverick, but he's still, even still, I think he's within that tradition, broadly speaking. Even Occam's nominalism is pretty subdued compared to what will come later. He introduces these sort of crazy ideas, but he doesn't go very far with them. It's really not until a couple of hundred years later, in the late 15th century into the 16th century, that we really get a modernist turn away from medieval synthesis, a rejection of these classical doctrines that everyone has always known, into some newfangled nonsense. Like the rejection of divine simplicity. No one would have ever thought to reject divine simplicity until what? Even most of the reformers held pretty strongly to divine simplicity. Did Luther? I actually don't know if Luther did. It's a good question. I think Luther might have flirted with rejecting divine simplicity. But I don't know that. I don't know that for sure. It's outside my area of precise expertise. Anyway.
I'm glad. He's a good person.
Yes, he is.
Thanks to both of you. And see you.
See you.
Why does Manon keep saying, death comes to us all?
Because it does.
You haven't heard that before?
No.
Unofficial expedition motto. You never heard Lucian say it either? It's one of his favorites.
Huh. I mean, it's hard not to talk about existentialism and the meaning unto death now, or being unto death.
I think he prefers, we're already dead, you're just catching up.
Yeah, I heard that one recently.
I don't know. Kinda nice in a way. Having a deadline forces you to prioritize. It's a bit freeing as we get closer to the end.
Okay, I gotta talk about it. Sorry. I'll still not try not to spoil things, but a major part of the existentialist tradition is what's called being unto death. That is a recognition of our finitude, and a recognition that we exist and will cease to. Now, that may not be true per se, but the existentialist tradition, as it developed in the 20th century, is a mostly atheistic and materialistic tradition. And so, setting aside the afterlife, even still, there is this idea that the finitude of one's life, even of one's earthly life, even taking into account the afterlife, that having an end point, knowing that death comes for us all, or death comes to us all, whichever way you want to say it is, as he says, it's freeing in a sense. It forces you to prioritize. It puts everything into perspective. Martin Heidegger, who was a kind of phenomenologist existentialist, German, not French, probably expounded upon this best, where he points out that our finitude is what allows us to do anything. It is the scarcity of time which forces us to prioritize, and therefore to do anything at all. If we had an infinite amount of time to do anything that we would ever choose to, we would probably never do anything. Of any real significance, at least. Because we only have a finite amount of time in our lives, that means that we have to actually do something if we want to do it before the end comes, particularly if we don't know when the end will come. Right? So again, as Raphael is saying, it forces you to prioritize in the sense that if you know that you only have a finite amount of time, particularly if you know what amount of time that is, then excuse me, because just like having a limited budget, say, will force you to prioritize in the sense of knowing what's important, knowing what you ought to, what you need to do with that budget, right? You will avoid those things that have, to use economic terms, say, lower marginal utility, things that aren't as beneficial or as useful or as good in general. Even if they have some good to them, you wind up needing to do those things which are most important first. And so our finitude, our being unto death, allows us to do things, or allows us to recognize the importance of anything that we might choose to do, and of actually choosing it. So this is a major aspect of the existentialist tradition, and it's a big theme of this game, at least so far. I have a feeling as we move forward as well.
You can really find the silver lining in everything, can't you?
No, it's just... things don't always work out the way we want. No use getting upset, you know? Use what we can, leave what we can't.
Trying to recruit for future expeditions. The number of people volunteering is going down every year.
Something wrong?
The expeditions. What a joke. All they do is leave us here to die. They're just escaping.
You know their goal is to save us all, right?
Yes, that's what my father told me last year, before he left for Expedition 34. And here we are again this year.
You're a little old.
We could have spent one more year together instead of wasting it away.
Your father fought to offer you a better future.
I have no future. I know it, and I've accepted it. We're doomed.
You never know. This expedition might be different. There are some special people in this one.
Yeah, right.
Gustav, why don't you show her some of your fighting skills to prove her wrong?
Okay, I see where this is going. Is my... Okay, war with overcharge. Oh, I need a basic attack.
For those who come after.
There we go. Adam is disappointed that these people have French names but no French accents. Because they have English and I guess a few American voice actors. Probably Canadian too, honestly.
This guy is strong.
They all train their picto skills very hard to save us all. And so did your father.
Then, Madame, why didn't you join?
Me? I'm content with my life. I know what I can and cannot change. Or maybe because I was afraid.
Do you think I should join the expedition?
My friend Ciel always says, do your best. Either it works or it doesn't. Live your life as you want.
Okay, and there's our other aspect of existentialism here. The living your life as you want is especially the important part of it. Now, whether it works or it doesn't is kind of mixing in elements of perhaps stoicism, which, given the circumstances present in this sort of post-apocalyptic game, yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that as being important. So the stoic aspect, of course, is being able to separate the action from its outcomes, and judging what the action is, and not just the intent, right, but the action itself, and understanding whether an action, as it is done, as it is committed, is either good or bad, right or wrong, just or unjust, wise or unwise, whatever. And that the outcome is outside of your control. That is due to outside factors, simply things that might go beyond the actual scope of the action itself. And so you can this is the stoic impetus to accept things that you cannot change, or further, even accept the failure at changing something, even if you have attempted to do so and it has not worked. This is one of the key elements of stoicism, and to integrate it into this setting, it makes a lot of sense. We'll talk about why as we go forward some more. But then the other aspect of this, the last little bit there, live your life as you want. And then her sort of contentment with her life, her choices. The other aspect of existentialism is existence preceding essence. That our existence has no intrinsic essence or nature to it. The existentialists deny any kind of solid or stable human nature or essence to ourselves or even our kind. And so, each of us is essentially a blank slate and a radically free will. And that radically free will, in the decisions that it makes, is what shapes us, is what defines us as a kind of thing. We decide who and what we are to be. And so, Sophie is not an expeditioner. She's not a warrior. She's not a hero. She is... what? I don't know exactly what she does, really. But whatever it is, she's content with it. She's made her decision. She's made her choice. She's defined herself as she is. And Gustave has defined himself as he is, as an expeditioner, as a warrior, as a hero. And the existentialist will point out, and this is again a key point that all of the existentialists make, that what choice you make is not ethically significant. The ethical significance is in making a radically free choice, an authentic choice, a choice which does in fact come from your will, your own faculty or capacity for decision making. Faculty isn't the right word. They wouldn't use that. They wouldn't say faculty, but whatever. That it isn't constrained or determined by outside factors, by other people, by something you think you have as an innate nature, by God even. But that the right choice is the one that you make, whatever that is, so long as you have genuinely and authentically made it. Of course, all of this is actually rather a dangerous way of looking at the world and our lives, because it otherwise jettisons so much of objective ethics and subjectivizes a good deal of our decision making. But again, it's going to be a heavy theme in this game. Again, quite obvious.
I don't want to have regrets. I don't have that much time.
When the time comes, you'll make the right decision. I'm sure.
Thank you. Now I think I know. Give this to your boyfriend. My father gave it to me, but it might be more useful for him.
Power of Yuvina. What? No, I was just talking about the whole potential ethical danger of existentialism, that it can take away any objective standard for what is the right or the wrong decision, and so long as you've made that choice authentically, or living your best life, so to speak, which is, by the way, that's where that phrase sort of comes from. Doesn't quite matter how or what. It's that you've made the choice. Anyway.
Not everyone attends the living wake or goes to the harbour for the gommage. Some prefer more intimate goodbyes.
Right. Useful walls of people, I see. And this is the flower market. People are buying flowers for their loved ones before they go mange.
Hi, Gustav. You're back. Oh, did you want to pick out a different flower?
No, the one you suggested earlier was perfect.
Oh, I'm glad. These garlands are our last farewell. I want them all to feel special. I have a garland saved for you, too. But it's not a farewell garland. It will be a welcome home garland. Good luck, my friend.
Thanks, Ophelie.
By the way, I'm preferring playing as Sophie, at least for the time being, mostly just because we won't be able to for very long.
You two would make a cute couple.
If you say so.
Or maybe something already happened, huh?
Fleurs gommage. I assume that means gommage flowers. Like everything else.
You really think you're doing something, eh? Out there?
Maxine, you're drunk.
None of you ever come back. You go and you take our resources and you waste it all on a fucked up hero adrenaline fantasy. And still, she kills us.
You should go home. Where's your daughter?
Where do you think? Mourning her mother on the anniversary of her death. Of all their deaths.
Then maybe you should be with her.
I can't look at her. She's just another reminder that nothing we do matters. Nothing. We hope and we persevere, and still they die. They all die and we can't stop it. We can't save them. We bring another generation into this world just so they can watch us die before they're even old enough to understand why.
It's starting to become clear what this whole thing is talking about, what the setting is, but this is the other... Okay, so another important element of existentialism, especially Heidegger's phenomenological existentialism, is the confrontation with anxiety. You hate Maxime's mustache? It's a pedo mustache. Come on. Hey, don't sell your don't be mean to yourself like that. But it is French, so Anyway, national pastime. Anyway, so the confrontation with anxiety is another crucial aspect of existentialist thought, and especially as performed by Heidegger. Although again, Sartre and a lot of the French existentialists also talk about anxiety and our authentic or inauthentic reaction to it. And the line between the authentic reaction to anxiety, which the idea of anxiety here is a profound experience of self-examination, that we confront the realities of life and our sort of thrownness into the world, the fact that we exist, but we don't have to. We're contingent. The world around us is alien in some sense. And that sudden shock of realizing that can lead us to what we come to now call an existential crisis. And that crisis is something that we can resolve, or we can respond to in an authentic way by understanding it, by embracing it, by taking on the fact that we are alien to the world, that we are this radically free being, and so we make an authentic choice that comes only from ourselves, not from our conditions or circumstances or outside factors or God or nature or whatever. Or we can react inauthentically by ignoring it, by shoving it aside, by perhaps drinking ourselves into a stupor, so that we can dive back into the veiled world of the way we ordinarily think of things, as just sort of constraining and ourselves as being just an ordinary part of an ordinary world, and not thinking of ourselves as this radically unconstrained free beings. And so we get Maxime having at least what the existentialists would describe as the inauthentic reaction to the anxiety produced by death. Death gives us anxiety. It makes it so that we have to confront the fact of our own finitude. And you can do that poorly. And Maxime, I think, is meant to be an example of doing so poorly. It is giving up all hope, rather than embracing the perhaps absurdity of life, embracing the finitude of life and acting despite that, acting in the face of it. He is giving in to hopelessness and is taking the finitude and the nothingness unto which we are all destined, taking that as also a reason to give up any hope, or a reason not to choose anything, not to do anything of significance. Because what does it matter? Well, the existentialists will say that it matters because we choose it. Anything that we choose to do matters precisely because we are choosing to do it, and we will choose to do so. By the way, somebody find timestamps so I can clip a bunch of these little things, cobble them together into an existentialism video. Maybe I can do that. I'll probably do it on my own, but if somebody wants to do that, I invite you to, wholeheartedly.
That's why we're going. We can save them. With our Lumina tech. The Paintress...
The Paintress? What? What's a scrawny shit like you gonna do to the Paintress, eh? We're already dead. You're just catching up.
Maxime.
Forget it. Bon voyage.
Poisson fouet? I don't know what that's supposed to say. Adam, you can translate. Also, how French of a game to have the big bad evil guy, or lady, be called the Paintress. You know, that's very French. Oh, poisson fry. Fry or fray? Or fresh fish, whatever it means.
This lady truly is exquisite.
In love?
Not quite. I am only in love with her art. My inspiration has been quite lacking recently. Nobody buys paintings anymore. Just because she is called the paintress doesn't mean painting is evil.
Your canvas seems quite empty.
I need inspiration. But you, I can see you're in love. With this fine gentleman, I suppose.
We broke up.
That is of no consequence in the matters of love. But it is this passion I so fiercely desire in my painting. I know. How about showing me a dance of love and sorrow? I am also the official painter of the opera. Will you help me? If you inspire me, you may become the main painting of Lumiere's opera.
Sure.
Fantastic. You may start. Here, gorgeous lady, take this paintbrush and show me your wrath.
Okay, I guess.
Come on, dodge your lady's beautiful moves.
Oops.
Come on, dodge your lady's beautiful moves.
Oops.
Come on, dodge
Okay,
your
I can do better
lady's
than this.
beautiful moves.
Better.
That was
Okay.
splendid. One more time. Sublime. One last time.
Ah, cool. Okay. We continue.
That was splendid. Splendid. I was so enthralled that I completed the painting in an instant.
You what? Is magic involved here? Or is this just tropey?
It's nice to know something of us will remain in the world after today. Thank you.
It is I who should thank you. It was a moving dance. I will propose it for the new opera painting we have to do this year.
Huh.
I
That's gotta be
feel it
magic,
wasn't
right?
that impressive, but okay.
Love will always be impressive. Also, take this as a gesture of appreciation. I see your not boyfriend is an expeditioner. It may prove useful.
Red coat. I thought this was French, not English. Anyway, sorry.
Please.
Huh. Normal trash. Why are we drawing so much attention to the normal trash cans? Can I talk to you? Distract you from your playing? I guess not. Another family will be torn apart by the Gomage. More children for the already crowded orphanage. Oh my gosh, both parents.
Sometimes I feel sorry for her.
Who? The paintress?
Look at her. She looks sad. Maybe she's a prisoner too. Stuck in the same cycle with us. Silly, huh?
Only you could choose empathy at a moment like this.
It's one of the few choices I can make.
And there you go.
I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You don't have to.
One of the few choices I can make. Again, it's the authenticity of radically free choice. I don't. The trash cans, man. There is something sketchy about the plain, ordinary, normal trash cans. There's something sketchy. It's just a trash can. Why is there an interact button on it? Dude, I'm freaking out over nothing, I know this. But still.
Mate, I wish I was going with ya. If we could just send a bigger force, get all of Lumiere to just throw everything we got at the bloody paintress. But my brother would kill me. His number's up soon and I'm guardian for his kid.
Uncle Victor. Suits you.
But Maëlle, quite the ballsy one, eh? No looking back for her. Bet she can't wait to get out of here.
Not much hesitation on her part.
Nah, hesitation was never her style.
The people on the dock are the ones who won't come on. They're here to show their solidarity for those wearing flowers. Oh. Benoit.
I'll see you soon enough.
Oh, I think I'm gonna vomit. But no regrets.
The paintress is going to punish you, you blasphemers. The Gamage is our fault. We brought this upon ourselves because we dared to defy her.
I'm sorry, what?
Another one of these paintress worshippers. Has to ignore him.
Has to ignore him, huh? Yeah, that's odd. Whoa. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. That's a robot.
Hello? Gustav, help!
Okay. Oh god, I need to be much better at parrying. Okay, cool. Good to know. I died. Okay. Wow, oops.
Let's leave it alone, Gustav. It's dangerous.
No. I'm going to kill it.
Gustav!
I'm gonna try this again. This is... Ah. There was another attack? Oh my god. Oh, okay. I need to know its attack pattern. This is what I need to do. Okay. Good to know.
Let's leave it alone, Gustav. It's
No.
dangerous.
I won't.
Hello? Gustav!
I'm going to kill this mime. I need practice, because Really? Okay. Okay. That hurt a lot. Silence effect. Character freeze skills. Ooh. That didn't work well.
For those who come after.
Damn. That was not good. I'm stunned. That's good. Okay, there we go. Got him. Whew! That was rough.
That was close. Thanks, Gustav. Did someone build this? There's something on its body.
Gustav destroyed the weird mime. Thanks, Gustav. Well done. Always destroy weird mimes. Cool. You're doing a magic dance. Anyway, yeah, I really need to practice combat because I need to get my parry timing right. That's rough. We'll have gathered for the Gamalbush. Paintress will soon wait. Alright, well, let's go.
I've always loved the harbor.
Okay, so based on what we know, well, sorry, based on what I know, not what you necessarily know, but it's odd and a bit disconcerting that this state of the world is all everyone alive here has ever known. And we can know that for mathematical reasons that we'll probably get into. But it's something profound. Tragic. Gamage will start. Do you want to head to the harbor? Yeah, let's go. Sophie and Gustav move towards the harbor.
I see you're apprentices.
Oh.
Gustav!
What?
Here, Sophie asked us to bring you your coat.
We sewed up the sleeves so you don't have to keep rolling it up.
You guys know how to sew?
Sophie helped us. Turns out it's not that hard. You really should
Oh,
have
she's
done
a
this
seamstress,
ages ago.
right?
You did this?
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah? I wanted to do something for you.
Soph. Thanks, guys. This is great. Thank you.
See you at the festival?
Don't leave without saying goodbye.
Yeah, of course not. What? I know that face.
You mean a lot to them. I can tell.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me too. Legacy can take many forms, right?
Yeah,
You told me that.
right.
Why?
I wanted to see you wearing it.
Oh, you like uniforms now?
Adam makes a good point. The game's title is a French oxymoron. Clair Obscur means clear obscure. Again, I think it could perfectly well be metaphorical as well.
This too
Obvious
is
mystery, something like
legacy.
that.
In a way, it's yours too.
I always sort of thought of it as well as relating perhaps to the phrase "as through a glass darkly." Something that is immediately and obviously comprehensible, but we can't quite comprehend it. Something like that, you know?
Esti tornere marina, esti l'inaki soledad, dona l'ora tovla, alina.
Zip, how you doing? Arrived just in time for something important. Yeah, Adam, look them up. Look them up. See if there's anything interesting in these in the lyrics. I'm curious.
I'm here.
And they do a good job making that impactful, despite this being 60 minutes into the game. At most. That's me with me lollygagging, yapping about stuff too. And I'll say the soundtrack that really, really contributes to the emotional impact of everything. But they actually do a really good job of setting the atmosphere well, of introducing the characters to each other and to us really well.
There you are. You can't hide from us, you know. Like I said, mourning's best done with friends.
Lucian,
What? It is. Grieving alone's the worst.
where's mine?
Santé, les amis.
Santé!
Yeah, no, I could use a drink.
Five tables this year. You see that? Told you we'd beat the 34s. Even my Elle showed up, and she hates these things. Wanna go take a look?
I don't... maybe later. I'll catch up. I'm okay. I'm okay. You go.
Yeah. Time for a refill anyway.
There's an excess of wine, again. Thank you, sister, for her generosity.
Oh, and try to enjoy yourself. Don't drink alone, you weirdo.
Yeah, right. Enjoy myself.
Festival de l'Expédition. Alright. A token usable at the festival to get prizes. Neato. Give me a moment. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. My wine and tea and coffee and everything. I will be back shortly. I will leave you on the wonderful, glorious image of Gustave here, and some nice music. So, back in a moment. I'm back. Hi, everyone. We'll come back. All right. So, now that everyone's dead, let's go to the party. Shall we?
Let's at least check on my aunt and my apprentices.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not clear so far, the Gommage is the magical horrific disaster where this big creature, the Paintress, kills everyone, or maybe we should say scrubs out everyone above a certain age. This year, the age was 34. Next year, the number goes down to 33. Adam says, nothing says existentialism like a party after death. Yeah, very much so. The Living Wake is what the whole festival was called as well, which is very kind of existentialist, but that's the thing. I think that it needn't... Existentialism has a form of, let's say, memento mori, but it's in a different way. There's a different takeaway from the inevitability of death if you think that death is the end than if you think that death is transition. Or death is the end of this life, rather than life in general. Like I said, I do think that you can perhaps, and this is to maybe your interest, Adam, in particular, I think that you can perhaps integrate existentialism into a healthy Christian, maybe perhaps Catholic even framework. But it would have radically different implications and flavors. I think, again, that the way you could integrate it is to start over from where existentialism starts. That is to say, noticing our freedom and noticing our finitude. That finitude in two senses. Those two senses are radically different. One, the sense that we are finite as contrasted with God's infinity. And so our finitude is a finitude of scope, of measure, of power, of knowledge, of everything. Rather than what the existentialists focus on, which was the finitude of duration of our lives. Because we know that we are naturally immortal creatures. We will continue to exist beyond our physical death. And, God willing, we will be brought back even to our proper forms, our corporeal bodies, with the resurrection. But our finitude there is still very important in the sense that we only have so much that we can do. We only have so much power, capacity, time even, to do things. So noticing that can still have some of the existential implications, of course not in the same way. Now, the other aspect of our finitude is the inevitability of death, right? This worldly death of our earthly lives. That has implications as well, implications that Catholicism has absolutely explored for way more centuries than existentialism has been around. So, yeah, there is an element to it. The other thing for us to notice and to pick up upon, so our radical freedom still is an important thing to note, but the existentialist tradition as it exists in a secular framework, and exists especially within an almost nihilistic framework, because it was largely in response to a kind of materialistic nihilism, which was more common in the 19th century, which then sort of gave rise to the early 20th century existentialism, which was a reaction or response to it. And so, and then sort of evolved further into absurdism and Dadaism and such things. But we can recognize that, yes, we are radically free. We are, in fact, capable of a form of creatio ex nihilo. Our actions, our choices, arise from nothing but ourselves. And that radical freedom is a really important insight, but it can go right or it can go wrong in ways other than simple authenticity. Right? We can, in fact, do the right thing or the wrong thing because there are things that we ought to and ought not to do. There is still a framework in existence, a framework that involves our own natures and the natures of those things around us, which are solid, stable, and established by God. And so, a Christian existentialism or a Catholic existentialism, aside from just, say, following Kierkegaard, but Kierkegaard was one of the early existentialists and was a Christian, a Lutheran. But taking the existentialist insights in a more properly theistic direction could be an interesting project. One that I don't know if it's actually really been pursued. No, not to my knowledge. Certainly a potentially interesting project. Oop, that's not the talk button.
Hey, Gustav. Check out the new pictos I made.
What's that?
Looks a bit rough. I'm sure it works.
I've been working on this for months. It's my personal masterpiece.
Your personal masterpiece seems a little unorthodox.
It's dead useful, trust me. Come on, give it a whirl.
Sure, why not?
Great. I'll trade it for 1 token.
Yeah,
Call
sure.
it morbid curiosity. Here, your token.
You won't regret it. Probably.
Weird pictos. Adam says many Catholics I know have tried to adapt Kierkegaard, but they failed. Yeah, I don't think you can. I think what you could do is, like I said, I think you could try to gain similar insights as the existentialists more broadly. Maybe drawing more upon the later existentialists, people like Sartre, or maybe even Heidegger. But adapting Kierkegaard directly, trying to integrate Kierkegaard into a Catholic framework, yeah, I think that's a recipe for failure.
Hey, Amandine. Having fun?
Yeah, his Lutheranism get in the way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a fideist. Kierkegaard is a fideist, which is the biggest incompatibility with Catholicism. And I don't mean even just sola fide, that we are saved by faith alone. He thinks that faith is faith, blind faith, almost naively blind faith, is the only source of knowledge of the divine. That even Scripture is not alone sufficient. That we need what a Thomist would call the infused virtue of faith to even know and understand Scripture, because otherwise we're affected by sin, by depravity of the will, depravity of the mind, such that we can only even have knowledge of God through faith, through a blind acceptance. And that is a kind of authentic existentialist act, is this blind acceptance of God through faith alone, in that sense. So yeah, I do think that is absolutely antithetical to the Catholic tradition.
Oh, hey, handsome. Perfect timing. I'm styling everyone before we ship out. Gotta look sharp when we hit the paintress, eh?
Certainly important. Can you style me up too?
On it. Just bring me a token first.
I need more tokens. Where do I get more tokens?
These are yours.
You gonna lecture me on drinking?
I wouldn't dare. Just calculating how much it'll hurt to catch up.
You can start now. Here, let's have a toast to Sophie, who was always unapologetically Sophie, my fierce and loving friend.
To Soph. Seriously though, this is gonna hurt tomorrow.
Tomorrow comes, but it ain't here yet. I'm not crossing the sea sober.
Sober's better than deathly hungover.
No, not for that.
Ah.
Go have some drinks.
Gustav! Come drink with me.
I'm pacing myself tonight.
Ah, you're so boring. It's our last night. Who knows when we'll be back?
I like that you say when and not if.
What can I say? I'm an optimist. Or an idiot. Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, he's very drunk. Huh. They're odd liquor bottles. Or some bizarre version of France. Huh.
Come, let's play some cards.
Adam asks, is denial of the future or consequences common in existentialism? No. But I can see how you get to that. It isn't denial of the future or consequences, but rather a, like I was saying, a kind of a stoic separation of actions from consequences. Right? When you notice that the consequences of your actions are a separate thing, they're causally distinct, and they're distinct as well in action theory and decision theory from the choice or the action itself. Once you separate these two out and notice that they're different, you can have a sort of blasé attitude towards the future or towards consequences. For example, if I take a drink of wine, it is up to me to drink or not. It is not in the same way up to me whether to get drunk or not. Now that seems like just an avoidance of responsibility, right? Drunkenness is a simple consequence of drinking, but it's not exactly. I can't predict precisely the drunkenness that I will receive from a glass of wine. I mean, frankly, it's minimal, but let's pretend. And so, when I choose to take a sip of wine, when I choose to drink, I'm choosing this in particular, this action. Whether in fact that will lead to me becoming drunk, whether in fact that will lead to me becoming sick, whether that leads to a hangover, whatever. Those are consequences down the line that are caused, yes, by my action. But there are a lot of intervening factors that could alter that, right? They do, you're right. So Adam says, they seem to have a very eat, drink, and be merry for tomorrow we die vibe. Yes, very much so. But again, that's a lot of elements that they borrow from Stoicism. Because Stoicism has roughly the same point. I mean, it makes roughly the same point, I should say. That when you choose to do something, you're choosing to do something. You're not choosing the consequences that follow from it. Those consequences follow. Or they might not. That might matter based on other factors outside of your control. An example that the Stoics liked to use, Epictetus in particular, but Marcus Aurelius uses the same type of example. If you choose to go to war, you're not choosing to win, right? If you choose to go on campaign, to go to war, what you're choosing to do is either right or wrong from the outset, regardless of whether you win or lose. Because winning or losing is not up to you. It's up to the dance. It's up to the combat. It's up to fate, in a sense, between you and the opponents, and everyone else in both armies. And the weather. And chance. And God. All sorts of things. It's not just up to you. But choosing to go to war might still be a noble thing to do, regardless of how it turns out. And so, we should focus on the actions that we do and the choices that we make, not on what we think their consequences might be. Because if their consequences turn out to be what we weren't expecting or weren't hoping for or weren't thinking, then we're going to be disappointed, and we're going to confuse that disappointment with moral condemnation of the action itself, which we should not do according to the Stoics, and especially according to the Existentialists. But the Existentialists just take away the moral dimension of this and say that your choice is a choice. That's all that matters, is that it is a radically free choice, that it's an authentic choice that you make from yourself, from your will. And if that is the case, then the consequences are something separate from that. That's something that simply happens. That's part of the world, not part of you. and that you are the thing that needs to be authentic, and needs to be making these choices. So yeah, the existentialists are somewhat amoral, and they separate the actions from their consequences. But they don't simply discount the future as meaningless, because it's still you. It's still you suffering those consequences, and then you having to decide what to do in the face of them. Right? Yeah, existentialism borrowed elements from Stoicism to some degree, right? And I'm not actually sure the degree to which it's intentional, but there are absolutely parallels. Absolutely parallels. I actually don't know, like I said, I don't know the degree to which the major existentialists like Sartre really drew directly from the Stoics. I know Heidegger did to some degree because I've read a good deal of Heidegger. He also drew a lot from Plato. Heidegger did. Sartre did to some degree, but largely to disagree. Because he saw Plato as an essentialist, and that's kind of the polar opposite of, ontologically speaking, an essentialist, which is kind of the polar opposite of existentialism. So there's certainly there were parallels, but I don't know exactly if it's a source. This is gonna be. I'm going to paint with a really broad brush here, and I'm going to be really uncharitable for a second, so bear with me. Modern philosophers and modern schools of thought don't tend to have sources. They tend to they tend to accidentally plagiarize. They do what my students do, what any students do, really, where they have a tab open over there on that side of their monitor, and they have their paper open over on this side of their monitor, and they think they're coming up with their own ideas, when really they're just sort of rephrasing and copying things from over here. That's what modern philosophers tend to do because they think, and this is a trend of modernism, really, starting from the Enlightenment, they think that what came before them is not genuine wisdom. They think that the correct and the best way of doing philosophy is from the ground up. And this really took off with Descartes. If you look at the early moderns, find me a citation of Aquinas. Go ahead. Like, David Hume. This is fascinating. This fascinates me, by the way, and I kind of, again, something I want to kind of write about. If you look at David Hume, Hume is thought of as the primary critic of the medieval synthesis, of so many of these Thomistic, broadly speaking, Thomistic doctrines. Theology, especially miracles, all of these various, induction even, all of these various things that David Hume critiques. He does not once cite a source that he is criticizing. Especially for one who is thought of as dethroning the sort of Thomistic medieval synthesis. He literally does not cite Aquinas once in all of his collected works. That should tell you something about the attitude of the moderns, of the early modernists. Imsim says, we were taught today that many Greek grammatical rules influence philosophy, such as words that mean this or that. Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of what is a good example. You can find examples like this like crazy in Plato. Nothing's coming to mind in particular. I'd have to go through some of my old notes, some old things I read. But yeah, Greek grammatical rules affected philosophy a whole lot, and the same applies to Latin. Influenced a lot of medieval thought. Adam asks, is it possible to convert an existentialist to essentialism? Yeah, you show them that their whole theory is wrong. You cannot be an essentialist existentialist. Those are opposites. It's like converting an atheist to theism. Yeah, you can do it, it's possible, but they won't stay an existentialist. Unfortunately. Now, again, like I said before, you can have vaguely existentialist insights and be an essentialist, be a theist, you can be a Christian, you can be a Catholic even, and have insights drawn from existentialism, or drawn from the places where existentialists draw their insight. But that's very different from being an existentialist and believing in essences. You can't do that. That is not a thing you can do. They are directly contradictory with each other. Imsub's 2 days behind on his rosary. Should I pray 3 today to catch up? Started in a novena to St. Jerome. I don't know. You can. Nothing wrong with doing that. Pray about it. In your first one. Your first rosary. Meditate on that. See if it seems like that is something that God wants you to do.
No way. Everyone knows you cheat.
That's just what sore losers say. Come now. You're going to be a little cautious mouse with the paintress too.
Cautious is good. Keeps you alive.
We're expeditioners. Stay smart, yes, but be bold, huh? You can't win if you don't play.
Money's no good out there anyway. Why are you trying to fleece me?
'Cause winning's fun. Come, let's play some cards.
Can I? I can't. You're not going to let me play cards. Okay, whatever.
Commander?
Gustav, I saw you with Sophie. We talked.
Yeah, yeah. Where's your daughter?
Leona's upset. Doesn't want to see me.
Shit.
It's okay. She doesn't need to understand, as long as she gets to live.
Yeah.
I'm counting on you.
No pressure, huh?
It's very heroic.
Oh no. Lots of pressure. You and Lune and your Lumina tech, that's our edge.
Thanks, but that's not. Everyone has a role. Lucien, Tristan, Catherine, and you made us into a... We have a really good team, thanks to you. That's our edge.
Tomorrow comes, my friend.
Doesn't it always?
This guy.
I think there's other survivors out there.
Doubtful. We would have seen signs.
But not impossible. Maybe if they have shield domes. But they would have been overrun by Nevrons before they could build any.
There's a lot going on here.
We were lucky the fracture dropped us out here. Bought us time to get our defenses up.
Oh, okay, so this isn't Earth, I suppose. This was popped, I guess, fractured from Earth? Dropped somewhere?
I don't know. People are resourceful, and Nevrons can't be everywhere. I'm betting on human ingenuity.
I like that. You came.
I wasn't sure if I should.
You've been avoiding us. You didn't have to.
I heard Seba filled my spot after I left.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm a coward for staying?
Do you?
Not anymore. Not all of us can change the world. Some of us can only change ourselves.
Well, there you go. There's more of that existentialism, huh?
Meaning what? Make yourself accept the unacceptable? Make believe that happiness is... this?
More like... rediscover. Happiness. One Gomage left. Maybe contentment is the highest form of happiness.
It makes me sad to hear you talk like this. The Paintress stole so many things, including your capacity to dream.
No, you misunderstand. My mind is where I can be free. She can't touch me there. This is my final act of defiance. Just like the expedition is yours.
Again, how do you hear that and not see the parallels to Stoicism? Again, Epictetus, the first major prominent Stoic, almost said exactly those words. That man is freest in his mind. That man is perfectly free in the mind. that anything internal to ourselves is completely within our control, but anything external to ourselves is out of our control entirely, and we should not confuse the two. And so, we have this element of focusing on that which is in our control, her mind. And that is, as she says, an act of defiance. Against what? Well, against some evil external tyranny, something that is seeking to impose itself upon the radically free self. And we're starting to see hints here of existentialism's anti-theism. Because existentialism, in its sort of mature form, mature in the sense that it has developed by this point, its mature form by the mid 20th century, by the time by late Sartre, is explicitly and vehemently anti-theistic, because as Sartre said in one of his later works, he said, if God exists, I cannot be free, but I am free, therefore there must be no God. And the later implication, of course, is that if there were a God, I would be constrained by God, rather than free to make my own choices, entirely absent any external compulsion or command. And so existentialism, in this sense, is a revolt against nature. It is a revolt against what they see as a tyrannical imposition from that which is outside oneself, even if that which is outside oneself is the most natural and most wholesome and good thing in the world. It is still seen as imposing itself upon us. And so it revolts against it. It revolts even against the good, the notion of the good itself. Because if there is some external good, some objective good that is not merely subjective, that is not entirely chosen, entirely voluntary, then that good imposes its own standards upon us. And now we might see some of the roots of the modern error. The postmodern error, perhaps. Yeah, Adam, Jerome is the first French name with a French accent. Yeah, that's... Yeah, actually, yeah.
If you say so.
Oh, excuse me. What else we got? Let's work our way through here, gradually, bit by bit.
Gustav! Just the man I wanted to see.
You want a rematch, don't you?
Well, it's my last chance, isn't it?
After tomorrow, you'll be the undisputed expert on expedition history.
Immiscipest, asks, can I explain Nestorian Christianity and how it isn't Chalcedonian Christianity? Okay. Broadly speaking, Nestorianism is otherwise referred to as adoptionism. Or at least adoptionism is kind of a form of Nestorianism. It is essentially the heresy that Christ was not God, but that received divinity from God at some point. It's a broad category of heretical positions. The adoptionist heresy is that God was pure man and was elevated to godhood. There's a version of it that that Christ was fully man but was given godhood, was given something extra, received the second person of the Trinity. Often it is said at his baptism, John Baptist. But what's essential to it is to separate the natures of Christ and to say that Christ was either a fully human person but not a fully divine person, or that Christ only became a divine person later. Whether that means that the second person of the Trinity came into being when Jesus became divine, or whether the second person of the Trinity existed from eternity past and became unified with Jesus, the fully human man, at some later point. It can go either way. There's different versions of it, but it's essentially that Christ is not the perfect hypostasis of God and man. Christ was a man who became God, or became like God. something like that.
That's tomorrow. What about today?
Who am I to deny you? Fire away.
How many years ago was the fracture?
You're kidding. This is your question.
Yes. When did our world break apart and our luminous city get thrown into the middle of the ocean? When was the fracture?
Because the world broke apart. Okay, there you go. How is it different from the Miaphysitic? Whatever. I know what you're talking about. I.e. Oriental Orthodoxy. So unlike Eastern Orthodoxy or simply in schism, other apostolic churches are heretical. I'm not actually sure of the Oriental Orthodox heresies in particular. I don't know what heresies they hold to in particular. I believe they are Nestorians, broadly speaking. But frankly, so are a lot of Protestants. Unfortunately. So, yeah. I think it was 67 years. Let's just go with that and see.
67 years ago.
Brilliant. I concede. You are the undisputed expert on Lumiere history.
What are you talking about? Every child knows this. The monolith's essentially a reverse calendar, counting down since the fracture happened in year 100.
See, there you go.
All right, fine. Another one then.
Imsim says they believe Christ has one nature, both human and divine, mixed into one. Ah, okay. So that is a little different. That is a little bit different. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to distinguish the two. I would. They are very, very similar. Essentially, the problem there is that it diminishes the full humanity and the full divinity of Christ. Or, if it doesn't do that, if it maintains that Christ is fully human and fully divine, but they are mixed, then it holds that the divine essence can ultimately change. And it denies divine aseity, and various things like that. Or it denies a stable human essence as well, because if a human essence can remain fully human and be partially divine, then it's not fully human anymore, and see the issue. I think we use the word hypostasis to try and explain the dual nature of Christ in one person. Yeah. I mean, look, ordinary human beings are a hypostatic union as well. We're a hypostatic union of mind and body, of spirit and matter. We are two things combined in one being. It's the same word, hypostasis. Hypostasis, or however you want to pronounce it. You're the expert. Tell me. Hypostasis, whatever, is simply the combination of two things into a single thing. And so that's what we are. We as human beings are hypostatic unions of body and soul. Mind, body, spirit, flesh, whatever you want to call it. Both are part of our essence. They're not part in the sense that they both are essential constituents of our nature, but they are not like pieces of a puzzle that need to sort of fit together. They describe different aspects of our nature, something like that. The same sort of thing can apply to Christ, except that it's two natures that form a hypostasis in one being, in one person.
Which was the first expedition to depart for the continent?
Oh, good question. 99?
Expedition 99.
Are you even trying? It's barely a trick question. One more time. Which was the first expedition to depart for the continent?
Was it 100?
Expedition 100.
Are you even trying? Which was the first
Expedition 0.
Correct. That still annoys me. They left in year 100. They should be called Expedition
Why would
100.
they call it?
Makes no sense.
Ah, that is a trick question.
Lumiere will be long gone before the monolith hits 0. All right, last one.
That is
Get it
also
right,
true.
maybe I'll give you a token. What is Illumina?
Lumiere's unique branded perfume. All right, so hold on. So let me clarify further. After the fracture, I guess the world was split up. The paintress started at 100. Each year, at the gommage, the number goes down by 1, and so everyone at the year that was painted, at year 100, everyone of that age or older dies. So then the next year it goes down to 99. And then everyone 99 or older dies. So it starts off, not many people are dying. As the numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller, everyone at or above that age dying. This year being 34. So everyone who's 34 years old or older dies. Next year it'll be 33. And so what we have here is a bunch of 33-year-olds going on an expedition to defeat the paintress, to stop this cycle. A bunch of heroes taking their last year into their own hands to try and grant a future for everyone else. Again, this is there's a lot of Christian typology in here, I think. Zim says, one thing I've wondered about, I'm sure this has been used as a form of anti-Semitism. In the Old Testament, God says he will scatter the Jews if they break their covenant with him, the Babylonian captivity. Well, look, sure, I'm sure it has been used as anti-Semitism, but also, the Jews are great at two things. One, keeping God's covenant. And 2, breaking God's covenant. The Jews as a people. And I probably will apply that to modern Israel as well, if we want to talk about, not the state. I mean, the church. The church is also really good at keeping God's covenant, and also really good at breaking God's covenant. We do that all the time, just like the ancient Jews did. So, yeah, I think that happened, right? The Babylonian captivity was as a result of the Jews breaking their covenant. The fall of Judea and ancient Israel, Roman destruction of Jerusalem, there you go, as you're saying, yeah, that is absolutely, I would say, the scattering of the Jews across the Roman Empire was yeah, I think so. It was God punishing the Jews for denying Christ. I think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Now, you can even say that they broke the covenant long before that, because the Jews had fractured into so many different schools of thought, all of which were mutually contradictory, and were not keeping the covenant certainly not all in the same way. And so you didn't even need the denial of Christ for the cracks to start showing. That was just the final nail in the coffin, or perhaps nail in the hand, so to speak.
Abilities you internalize by using a Pictos in battle after enough times.
Well done, well done.
Not really. I mean, I created the Lumina converter, so...
I hereby officially end our feud. With your departure, Lumiere loses a brilliant light. And a good friend.
You big softy.
All right, here's a token. Go and spend it on something.
Nice. I got a token. What's all this then?
Hello there, Gustave. Perhaps one of these artifacts may prove useful to your mission.
She looks like Shoe on Head.
Colette, you've been holding out on us. What are these?
Relics from before the fracture, passed down through the generations. The council deemed them trinkets, but I think otherwise.
That's kind of you to share.
I may not be able to join the expedition, but I'd still like to help. 1 token is all I ask.
Ah, I should have known. I need to think about it.
Yeah, we'll see. If I can get another token, that means I can get that, and I can get styled. You definitely want to be styled, obviously.
I can't believe you're working right now.
Tristan dragged me here.
Is that the final spot? It's amazing you triangulated Expedition Zero's landing site.
Imsipes is the ongoing war proof of the Old Testament where God says your enemies will strike at your hearts to repent. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because again, what often gets disparagingly called replacement theology among sort of evangelical Protestants is basically the historical view of Christianity that Israel, that the new Israel is the church, but that something happened to make it that way. Israel was Israel, but then Christ comes and offers the new covenant. Those who accept simply become Christians. They remain Israel. But those who deny the covenant are just like those who denied the old covenant over and over again and were scattered. They are no longer particularly relevant to God's plan of salvation. The only way that modern Jews can be saved, can enter into a covenant with God, is to enter into the new covenant with God, to be Christians. So it's not like they are under particular perdition or anything like that. So no, I don't quite think that modern Jews are under divine punishment or anything. Not at all. Not any more than anyone else who denies Christ, whether out of will or out of ignorance.
Theoretically, extrapolated from the archives, but it was 67 years ago.
That is much. That is twice as long ago as anyone has been alive.
So much of the landscape has changed.
I trust your calculations.
Thanks.
It's a good strategy for tracing their steps. They're the only expedition with any survivors, and they made it to the monolith, so...
Assuming the records are correct, my calculations are correct, that they left clear markers, that the road conditions haven't changed, that...
You need a drink.
Go away, Gustav.
I just finished calibrating the Lumina converter. We can launch test runs as soon as we land.
Perfect.
Hey, does Lune seem preoccupied to you? She's been distant lately.
Well, it's Lune.
This feels different.
I haven't noticed anything, but you know her better. Have you talked to her?
No, she doesn't like people prying. I've known her since we were 6. She hates personal questions.
Ah, right. You were both apprenticed to her parents.
Yeah. Let's just say they ran a tight ship.
I can imagine.
Ready for tomorrow?
Yeah. Been ready. What about you? Heard you were elected Commander 32. Congrats.
I've already claimed Alan's office. It's got a nicer view than mine.
A view of the Paintress. You're sicker than I thought.
She won't be there for long.
If we fail, though.
When one falls, we continue. We'll pick up and we'll push on. But I know we will meet again.
So here's the thing. Bastien is 32 now, right? He's 32 years old now. If next year he'll be 33, wouldn't that mean he would get wiped out? Or is it that he's 31 and he will be 32 next year? But then in that case, if Gustav is 33 this year, that means next year, when the Gamache happens, he'll be 34? I don't know. The math doesn't quite math too well. I don't know. I don't know quite how well the maths out here. How exactly all this works.
Gustav, we got something.
I know
for
that's
you.
not the point. I'm tragically missing the point with this, but still. Hey, apprentices. Oh.
For your field notes. So, when you come back, you can tell us everything.
Huh.
They'll definitely want that for the museum. The complete record of the expedition that destroyed the Paintress.
Oh, and if you find journals from the other expeditions, make sure you save them for us.
I shall faithfully record all our adventures, every strange and wondrous thing.
And Nevrons.
I can do that. And in return, do you solemnly promise to take care of the Shield Dome while I'm gone? I'm entrusting you with the safety of Lumiere.
Yeah, as I understand it, the game is set in an apocalyptic future after something like the world was shattered, or at least parts of it were thrown into this bizarre cosmos where the Paintress murderates people year by year.
I promise.
Promise.
Adriana?
I'll use everything you taught us, Monsieur G.
I should check on Maya.
G.
She's probably alone, as usual.
Monsieur G. Okay, so I have 2 tokens. I want a 3rd.
Hey.
Hey yourself. You okay? Want to talk about it?
Yeah, actually, no.
That's okay.
Okay, Karth.
What about you? You say goodbye to Derek?
Oh, that was over ages ago.
Oh, sorry.
Eh,
I really thought you guys would work out.
it's for the best. I need full focus on the expedition and our team. We're all we have.
Yeah. We're all we have.
Glass of wine? Or a hug?
Keep your sweat to yourself.
Bring Gustav a glass of wine!
Who exactly are you talking to? They cut servers from the budget years ago.
Well, cheers anyway. The letter G is actually pronounced J in French. Monsieur J? Okay, sure. Wow, alright.
The ultimate indignity. A farewell party where we serve ourselves. There's a metaphor in there somewhere.
Yeah, no one's here to say farewell to them. That's rough. Everyone's basically
I'm betting
given
you've
up.
got another bottle stashed in your coat somewhere. You gonna share?
You wound me. But yes, in fact, I do have it. Always be prepared. Or was it? Always bring backup. Same difference.
Right.
And I am prepared. Prepared to live. And prepared to die.
You're such an idiot.
Hey. We've got your Lumina converter, yeah? I believe. I'm ready for my Lumina.
What is that?
Yeah, well, we've only tested it here. Who knows what we'll meet on the main continent? We'll need more field testing once we land.
Don't worry, buddy. I've got you covered.
Great. Thanks, buddy.
I don't actually know precisely what the Lumina converter does.
Wow, so many expeditioners. So cool.
Gustav gives Jules the uniform his father made for him.
That's... You made that overnight? Dad. Damn. Now I feel stupid for fighting with him.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad. You take it.
What?
I'm not sure I'll ever use it. Maybe I'll go blind like my father, or maybe another expedition will succeed.
The letter J is pronounced like the G in bulge. J. They're flipped. Oh, weird. Okay. French makes no sense. Pronunciation, at least.
I want to
Sorry,
support
but
the
it doesn't.
expedition now. Take it. It may be useful to you. It's okay. I don't need the uniform to know my dad's with me.
Thanks.
Okay, Oh, discard just means continue. Okay. But Pictos. Equip skills. Equip learned Lumina by selecting any of the Lumina slots. Change the outfit and haircut. Okay, let's do that. Huh. I actually like this one better. That's cool, but I think he looks better in the sort of purple blue gold. Do any Pictos? I don't have any Pictos yet. Sort the list of Pictos by using different options. After winning 4 battles with Pictos equipped, it will be mastered. Every Pictos has a unique passive effect called Lumina. After mastering a Pictos, it will be possible to activate the Lumina without having the Pictos equipped. Interesting. I don't have any though. Darn. Luminas are passive effects you can activate once you've mastered the corresponding Pictos. Learn for all characters. Interesting. And you get a slot. You get more slots gradually. Activate or deactivate Luminas freely at any time outside of battle. Luminas activated by currently equipped Pictos can be deactivated. Available Lumina points shown here. Each Lumina costs a specific amount of points. More points the character has, the more Luminas they can activate at the same time. Each character gets 1 Lumina point per level. Okay. I don't have any. Any at all. No additional skills. Alright, I don't have much so far, so that's fine. I don't have very much, though. That's okay. That's okay. We're good. I kind of want the artifact. If I have to choose, and I don't know if I'm going to get another token, it might be that I get I get only 2 tokens, and there's 3 choices. I could get restyled, or I could get an old world artifact. I'm going to go with the old world artifact.
Welcome back. You're here for the artifact?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I'm curious. Here's a token.
Take good care of it. Godspeed.
Old key or an old door. Interesting. Okay. Let's talk to Mel.
I knew I'd find you. Having second thoughts about the expedition?
Please. I'm more ready to go than you are.
In the past, can you use a bow and horseback in Kingdom Come 2? Yes, but it's really hard.
Yeah, I know.
The game is not optimized well for horseback combat. Mounted combat.
Look, I know we've been over this, but as your guardian, I need to say this one more time. The rest of us only have a year left, but you've got 9 good years before your Gamage. You don't need to leave yet. It's a lot to risk.
1 year out there is better than 9 years in here.
I know you think that, but it's...
If anyone should stay, it's you. You have friends and family who want you here.
It is really odd that she's leaving now. Not staying until it's her time and going on that expedition.
So do you.
No, I don't.
Emma thinks of you as family.
Lumia is not my home. Not the way it is for you.
Well, why not?
Besides, this way I can keep an eye on you for Emma.
Right. Because she needs eyes everywhere.
Shush. You're lucky you have a sister who cares.
Doubly lucky. Since now I have 2.
All right, enough chit-chat. Come on, old man, let's have a duel.
Old man?
You're pretty much the oldest man in Louvier now, no? Come on.
Yeah, true. Fine.
This time, I'm not messing around.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
No shame losing to a
Really?
superior
Okay.
fighter.
I need to get better at this.
Hope your Lumina converter works better than your
Oh,
dueling.
okay, fine. God, I am really bad at parrying. I need to get better at this. Okay. Nope.
For those who come after.
I missed it. Shoot. Okay. I lost. Wow, okay. Jesus.
Too slow, old man.
I
Now,
will
don't get too confident.
get better at this, okay? Oh, God. Okay. Who is that?
Ah, Emma's here. Your sister's going to be looking for you.
Ah, I see.
Our
Okay.
beloved chief counselor. Yeah, I should go talk to her.
Don't get too drunk tonight, okay?
My darling sister has arrived. She'll kill me if I don't say goodbye.
Can I have a rematch?
Yes!
Try again. I will be better. I'll be better. I need practice anyway. Wow, that was
No shame
horrid.
losing
Okay.
to a superior fighter.
Not right.
Hope your
Okay, I
Lumina
parried one of them.
converter works better than your
Parried one of
dueling.
them. Frick. Okay, okay.
For those who come after.
Better. Better. Ah, God, really? Damn it. Okay, I need. You know what?
Slow, old man.
Now, don't get.
Yes!
Okay, I gotta get better at this. This is what we need to do. This is practice. Right? If I can't beat her, then really?
No shame
The
losing
parry
to
window
a
is
superior
tiny.
fighter. Hope your Lumina converter works
I'm
better than
still
your
missing?
dueling.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, that's a really, really small parry window. Jesus. Okay. There we go. All right. Excellent. 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 All right. Getting there. Getting there.
For those who come after.
Not bad. Not bad. Ow. Okay. Maybe not. Wow, that was way closer than it should have been. Jeez. All right.
Not bad for the oldest man in Lumiere.
Congratulations, you beat a teenager. Take this token as your well-deserved prize.
Well, there we go. There's the token. Whew. Yeah, that was, I need to get better at combat. A lot
Ready for your
better.
new haircut?
All right, let's see what you've got.
F me up. Okay.
Voila. Looking
right, I dig it.
fine indeed. You'll die with a gorgeous head of hair.
Rude. At this rate, absolutely right, but still rude. Hold on, I gotta check something. Ah, that's how.
The Chief Counselor honors us with her presence. What? Still mad I'm going?
This is the definition of a fool's quest. My brother's not usually a fool.
I've heard you say otherwise.
You and I both know the political complexities that necessitate the expedition. It's vital for morale, but it's a bloodless guillotine is what it is.
Bloodless? I don't know about that. You don't know
Put
that.
in your speech. Very motivating. They might just find a guillotine for you too.
Wow, that was sassy.
There are so many things you can contribute to here in Lumiere that'll have a real impact.
Em, you're doing great work, really. Getting things ready for the last generation. You've got it well in hand here. Let me do my part, out there, and win us a chance to live.
The last generation. That, oh my god. Good lord, that's true. Like, think about it. There's almost zero chance that any children born this year will grow old enough to have children. Because by the time they are 10, maybe 23, and by the time they are... Yeah, by children born this year, their gommage will be at, what, 16? So there's minimal chance, if at all, that children born this year, even children born this year, will have children of their own. God, that's... Yeah, that's dreadful, is the proper term, I think.
We're never going to see each other again.
You're so busy anyway. I barely see you.
Just take care of Mael, okay? Can't believe you're letting her go with you.
Me? You're her guardian too. You stop her.
We're her guardians, not her jailers. She really wants off this island.
Don't you have a speech to give?
You mean the one you so kindly wrote for me?
Just suggestions. I thought it might help you understand.
I do. Understand? I just... Anyway. Yeah, time for my speech.
Wait. Yeah, that's it. Let's go. Wow, that's fascinating little decor.
Expeditioners. The Sword of Lumiere. We honor your dedication. We do not take for granted that you dedicate your final year of life to keeping hope alive for all of Lumiere. Some of you are leaving to change the world. Others to discover the secrets of our universe. Some to protect loved ones. Others to find meaning in our all-too-short lives. As you sail into the unknown, know that Lumiere stands with you. When you battle the Paintress, know that Lumiere fights with you. Let the stones of her monolith crumble. Let her body lie at the end of the world.
Lumiere is
Unable
the
to
island,
paint another
specifically
death.
from.
Let the stars no longer be hidden by her oppressive silhouette.
It's basically Paris, as I understand.
Let the world once again watch the sun rise without the shadow of her cursed figure. May the wind of renewal
But look, we're getting
take you
introduced
to
to
the
our
ends of
partners.
the earth.
Bye, guys.
Tomorrow comes. Thanks to you. Expedition 33.
Getting some Les Mis vibes? Is it just because of the Frenchness and the music? Ah, yes. We've gotten through the prologue. I can change the difficulty mode at any time in the settings. Maybe I need to. Oh, God. Probably not. I'm fine, right? I'm fine. Probably fine. I'm bad at this game, okay, guys? The hope, the revolution, etc. Okay, alright, yeah. Whoa. And this is presumably the mainland. Whatever kind of mainland it is. And the shipwrecks of previous expeditions. Wow, that's dark. Interesting.
Get ready. You're old. How did you survive the Gommage? Which expedition are you from?
Fall back!
Ooh. Okay, so whoever that is, it is immensely powerful. So that's what happened.
Men! Stop! Come on, we need to go!
You know what they say? Beware of someone old in a profession that usually dies young. Or I suppose in a world where people die young.
He's not following. Putain! What the fuck? Who the fuck was that?
Merde! What do we do now?
Regroup at the rally point. The indigo tree.
What? Uh-oh.
Run!
People are getting utterly wrecked. Whoa.
Come on! Move! Fucking snap out!
Jesus. Yeah, this is going really suddenly. Yeah, if this is how all of the expeditions up until this point have gone, that's That's rough. That's extremely rough. I mean, hope springs eternal, but only because they don't know what that hope leads to. So it would seem. You get here. First of all, gorgeous environments. Look at this. Second of all, extremely twisted. Like statuary that is all warped, twisted, broken, integrated into the ground. Using a chroma elixir to recover health without interrupting exploration. Expedition status. Expedition status shows name of the current area, expedition current objective, bindings for exploration. Current health. Chroma elixirs. Chroma elixirs. Fully heal all members. Hold Y to use chroma elixir. Yay! That's better, I suppose. Ooh. Did I find a secret area? Is there anything here, or did I just go here for no reason? Maybe I'm just going here for no reason. See, this is the thing. Okay, so there's two philosophies of game design. One is that everything useful is on the main path. And that the game will guide you along the way that you're sort of supposed to go to get the best experience. The other philosophy of game design, which is by far the more common, is rewarding you for doing your own exploration. Looking off the beaten trail will lead to some of the coolest stuff. That is, like I said, far more common way games are designed. But if you're approaching the game with the wrong mindset, flipping these two, then you can really miss out on some important stuff. Best example of this would be Divinity 2: Original Sin. The game is designed along the main path. If you go, there are good drops if I walk around. Okay, thank you, Mike. That's very handy. Good to know. Fight time. Sword. From nowhere! Cool. I like the Conjuring Swords thing. It's neat. Free aim. Ooh, okay. Shooting costs 1 action point. Aim at the Lancier's weak point to deal increased damage. I bet I know where its weak point is. Hey, I was right. Okay, well that wasn't good. Oh man, okay. I missed again. Darn it. Okay, that's... Finished him off. Alright, that'll work. Ooh, it dissipates. Good touch. Anyway, like I was saying, Divinity 2 Original Sin is designed in such a way that you really should just follow the quest line. And if you don't follow the main quest, if you try to do every little side bit of explorable content before you advance the main quest, you won't be able to. You will hit walls and have no idea how to even advance because you need to advance the main plot to get certain abilities that you don't even know that you would need. Right, so it's a lamppost. What? What is this? Interesting. Okay. It's a random lamppost. What is this, Narnia? Yeah, grapple, huh? It will, but... Alright. And hurt. And a bench? This is bizarre. I'm getting the Shattered World impression, very much. Very much so. Okay, cool. Simple enough. Ooh. Oh, old expeditioners. Interesting. Previous expeditions, let's see. Far too many to be this one. I wonder if I can see what their numbers are. Yeah, it does not give me a very good look. Their armbands. Most of them are covered in blood. Ooh, there. This one might be good. Oh, they're ripped. They're ripped off? Are they missing their expedition numbers? Maybe they're... because it's their right arms. Right? Yeah, because mine's right there. No, that one's got it. It's just bloody, I guess. Interesting. I don't want to know. There's an eerie miasma here, too, which is spooky. Ooh. That's a lot of corpses. That's a lot of corpses. Well, some of them are 33.
You do that, we both die.
Or was she?
Hey. Fucking hell. Wake up, Gustav.
Lune. The others.
I know. We're the only ones left. You don't get to die.
It's just a matter of time before we're already dead. Look around, look.
This is not a foregone conclusion. When one falls, we continue.
Yeah, like, she does almost seem like she is in his mind
Get
at
up.
this point, but
We need to find a safer place. There are Nevrons around.
I know that she is one of the
This
characters
is
in the party,
not
so.
the place.
Speaking of Nevrons.
The Lumina converter seems intact. It's about time we test it in real conditions.
Putain.
Putain, is that a person, or is he saying something? Adam, help me out here. Okay. Good shoot. All right. Okay, Lune's stains. Lune's skills generate elemental stains. Her skills also consume specific stains to enhance their effects. They're elemental types. Okay, light stains can be consumed in place of any other. Cycle between different elements to get the most of her skills. Okay, cool. Okay, generating stains. Ice Lance Immolation. Ice skill that generates one ice and one light. Use Ice Lance. I will use Ice Lance.
Ice shatter.
Okay, elemental affinities. The Portiere. Okay, it's a doorman, I guess. Is weak to ice. Took 50% more damage from Ice Lance. Nice! Elemental affinities, weakness, resistance, and nullify or absorb. Sounds good. Portiere attacks the expedition. Slows debuff that reduces the speed of the character by 20%. I don't like that. Yeah, she's on the cover art. The lady who's got the blue glowing hands and feet. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, I can parry this? Really? Ah, cool combo. Alright. I don't have enough. I just have to I just have to attack.
The storm is coming.
Okay, so consuming stains. 1 ice, 1 light. Immolation will consume ice stain, deal increasing damage. Light stains will consume no elementals. Okay, sounds good. Immolation. I missed. Shoot. Courtier is burned. No. Oh, and that did it. Okay, cool. Dodger. Gain 1 AP on perfect dodge. Let's return. Okay.
We did it, Gustav. Let's see if your invention lives up to its reputation, shall we? It really works.
Huh.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so what to
There
do?
might be other survivors at the indigo tree.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of corpses. Okay. Provide passive effects called Lumina Pictos. Okay. Each character can learn Luminas associated with each Pictos. Luminas can be equipped. Okay, equip a Lumina. Press start. Let's do let's. Oh, Luminae. Okay. Honestly, I kind of want. Yeah, fine. Can they both equip it? Yeah, they... Oh, No, it's fine. I'll leave it on her, I guess. Dodger, okay. That's fine. Luminous. Perfect dodge. Okay, I guess that's... Alright, that's fine. Let's... I think that makes sense. Yeah, see, she's the one who floats. You're right. He's also, I will say, the one I see everyone who streams this game uses as their travel character, just for the, you know, in the, like, running around in the overworld. Mostly because of the floating. By the way, the whole floating thing, that is so dreamlike. And by dreamlike, I mean, that's literally a recurring dream I have, is floating about like that. Anyway. Alright, we did just autosave. So I'm gonna probably call it here. It's nearly midnight. Feeling a bit under the weather, as I mentioned, hence the sinus congestion / call it a French accent if you'd rather. And we'll pick up here next time. Okay, this has been fun so far. I need to get better at the combat. Dear God, do I need to get better at the combat. I am trash at this game, but it'll get better, I'm sure. Not to worry. Once you've done 4 combat with Pictos and unlock the passive, you can equip with all the party members. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember that from earlier tutorial parts. Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to call it a night here. This has been fun. This is great so far. Like I said, there's been a ton to talk about. I do kind of want to edit down some of just sort of me yapping to talk about some existentialism thing. Maybe I'll just edit that into an existentialism video. Perhaps. I'll think about that. Anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll be back to Kingdom Come Deliverance on Tuesday, and we'll be back to Expedition 33 on Thursday. So, until then, have a good night, everybody. Remember, don't be safe, be well. More importantly, be good. See, even my little sign-off thing is a bit of a existentialist inspired, but with a proper essentialist twist. Anyway, good night, guys. That was Uh-oh. I can't exit the game. There we go. All right, bye, guys.